Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and the place to be, it's Deb C. Boop, boop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week and had a great day. And let's get right into it. First of all, grab your favorite beverage. I have just a water in one of my favorite and absolutely one of the most prettiest glasses. This right here cannot be considered ASMR because I don't have fingernails. One of my favorite tumblers, one of the prettiest tumblers. I just have some water. Okay, let's get right down to it. Monday night was a very, very busy night as far as reality TV goes. I had three shows that we're taping. This is one that I'm going to talk about tonight is very timely for this week because we are right in the middle of rush. We're right in the middle of sorority rush for, I don't know if it's for all of the colleges, all of the universities in the US, but for probably all of them, most of them, if not all of them. So tonight I'm going to be talking about a new show that's on Lifetime. It premiered Monday, 10 o'clock on Lifetime. It is a sorority mom's guide to rush, and it's on at 10 o'clock. Looks like it's going to be a series. I don't know if they're going to follow two PNMs or potential new members and their mothers each week, but that's what they did this week. This week, we started off with Carol Ann, the mother Carol Ann and Emily. They're in Alabama. Emily's going to Auburn. And there was Isabella, who is the PNM, potential new member, and Anjali, her mom, and also her sister, McKenna. And they live in Mississippi, and Isabella was rushing at Ole Miss. Okay, so right off the bat, we find out right off the bat, first of all, Carol Ann, I think, wants this more than Emily. We find out Carol Ann she is all in her feels as far as being a legacy goes. Emily is a 5th generation legacy. Now, a legacy basically means that someone in your direct family line was a member of a sorority or a fraternity. Carol Ann was in a fraternity or sorority. Everybody else in her family has been in a sorority, and her grandfather, I believe, was like a founding member of a fraternity at Auburn. So she is very proud of this, and she says, listen, if you are female and you're Southern, then this is like the day that you get your bid is like almost as important, if not just as important as the day you get married. You know, like the dress that you wear for preference round is like right next to your wedding dress. So it means a lot. It means a lot to Southern women, and it means a heck of a lot to Carol Ann. Here's the thing though, legacies, from what I understand, legacies are not anywhere near as important and as, as important as they were. Reason being is that if sororities took every legacy that was out there, then there wouldn't be any room to take anybody who is not a legacy. So Carol Ann is making sure she is really preparing Emily for this. Emily, when everybody else is enjoying their summer, like you graduate and you're enjoying your summer before you get off to college, not Emily. Emily is spending her summer studying flashcards on each of the sororities. And we find out that girls are prepping like 6 months before going in to rushing. Like they are getting resumes done. They're hiring rush coaches. they're preparing, they're getting all of like they're getting their hair did, their nails done, they're getting all the treatments they need. They're getting all of their they're getting probably, who knows, they might have like practice rushes or whatever. They're getting all of their clothes, their outfits, everything coordinated. So Carol Ann I can tell, Carol Ann, I think, wants this more than Emily. And I can tell that she is making Emily just even more nervous than she is, because going in, Emily's a beautiful girl. She's not a size 2 or a size 6. So going in, she has this self-confident, this like, maybe she's not feeling as self-confident as she would in the skin that she has, like maybe, and I know this as being someone who has been a plus size, not saying Emily's a plus size, but she is not the size that of like, what you would consider your typical, little perky, little blonde that's going through rush. So all of this is just getting to her. Like it seems like it's becoming a little too much for her. And then out in Mississippi, we have Isabel and Anjali and McKenna. The person that is really putting the stress and the pressure on Isabella is her sister, McKenna, because McKenna is a sitting sister at Kappa Gamma. And she is really saying to her, like, you better run home. The house that you run home to on bid day better be Kappa Gamma. She went as far as to say that if you don't run home to Kappa, then we're not blood sisters anymore, which is ridiculous, which is insane. Isabella does have kind of some sort of a little bit of, I don't want to say experience rushing, but she is a pageant girl. So she does know how to like perform and to deal with that kind of stress. Okay, so getting into it, listen, I 100% agree. Carol Ann is living vicariously through Emily. She's smothering her. She is absolutely smothering her. She's coming home. She has all of these like packages, these clothes that she orders from Amazon, and she's triggering. I'm saying it. She's triggering. I feel like she's triggering Emily because she's gonna be thrown in there amongst all these girls who don't look like you, and a lot of the time, will come in with like these, fancy dresses and expensive jewelry. Like, it is expensive to rush. And then plus she got all of this pressure of like, you have to be picked by a sorority because everybody in the family, you don't want to let the family down. So there's that pressure. So eventually Carol Ann is just like, hey, listen, how about if I call in somebody else, like a mediator? This is where we meet Bill Alverson. Bill Alverson is a rush coach. Now, Bill Alverson, he has had like, I think he said he's coached women in pageants. Like, he's had finalists in Miss America, in Miss America, in Miss Universe, in all these different pageants. So it's not that big of a transition to go from pageants to rushing, to coaching rushing. Hopefully when he gets there, he can put Carol Ann in her place. This is also where we meet Brandis Bradley. Brandis Bradley, I've been following Brandis Bradley on TikTok for years now. I started following Brandis Bradley during the first year that I myself watched Bama Rush on TikTok. And that was the year that Kyle and Darnell rushed. So I believe that might have been 2022 or 2021 or 2021. It was probably 2022 because Kyle and Darnell is now a senior. So it's probably 2022. She has always been, she is like hilarious. She lives in Kentucky. She lives in Eastern Kentucky. She was a lawyer, and she is like the official, the official I don't want to say correspondent, but official, in my mind, the official Rush reporter or correspondent on TikTok. So she comes in and she talks a little bit. Now we find out, this is where we found out, these girls have 4 rounds. There's 4 rounds to Rush. There's open house. That's where the girls go in and they watch a video of each of the houses. Okay, then we have philanthropy. This is when the PNM's potential new members go in and find out about each of the houses, each of the sororities' charity. Then we have sisterhood. Sisterhood is where they finally get the one-on-one sister, where they get the one-on-one with the sisters. So before sisterhood, they find out like exactly what each PNM, what their interest is, or maybe what their, what their interest is, what their hobbies are, maybe what they're majoring in. And then that house will get a sister who has that same interest. So if I were to go in and say, I am a bookworm, I enjoy reading, well, then they would find somebody who is, a reader, and I would be talking to them. So that's how that works. And then lastly is preference round or pref round. So after each one of these rounds, you have to, every night you rank the houses. And then the next day you wait to see exactly if you have any matches, like who matched, who has you on their list. And then you go and you visit them. At the end, at pref round, you end up with your top 2. And that's when you hope that you're going to get a match. So after pref round, after all that's done, then it's bid day. And the girls open up their bids and they run home. So they run to the sorority that picked them. Okay, so Bill finally meets with Carol Ann and Emily. And Carol Ann, he's like, tell me your lineage as far as the sorority, as far as Greek life goes. She's like, I was this, and my family was this, and my grandfather was a founding member of I don't know, Theta Chi. It wasn't Theta Chi, of Theta Chi. And she made it look like, isn't that great? And he's like, okay, fine. He says to Emily, forget all of that. She's like, perfect, I can do just that. And at that moment, I was glad that she actually, that he was like, you do not have to listen to any of this. This was a come to Jesus. He called this a come to Jesus moment. He was like, listen. And he's brutally honest too. She's like, well, I'm going to take her down to Destin. We're going to get her hair done by so-and-so. And he's like, okay, good, because it looks like somebody threw a toaster in the bathtub with that hair. And then off camera, he's like, that they had the worst hair of any mother-daughter. I shouldn't say that because, well, he said it because my hair don't look so great. So I said, they get her hair done. And that's when Carol Ann is like, wait. So Carol Ann is saying she doesn't want Emily to be devastated if she gets dropped, but she is the one who is putting that pressure on her. If it was not for Carol Ann doing all of this, Emily wouldn't be having as much stress. It's all this stress of like your whole family is depending on you to get picked, you know? And when really, to be honest with you, it seems like the only one that cares about it so much is Carol Ann, because because her husband and, you know, Emily's father doesn't seem to be that way. Okay, so then going back to Isabel. So Bill has actually worked with Isabella before because remember, she's a pageant girl. But listen, once again, thank God for Bill, because Bill was like, he had a talk with the sister and the mother and was like, I know that you want her to go to Kappa, but she has her own mind. She has to make the decision that's the best choice for her. So I get what you're saying, but you have to stop it because it's her choice. It's her life and it's her choice. So this is where Emily then gets her hair done. Looks beautiful. But while she's getting this done, Carol Ann says she talked to some of her friends who'd found out Emily is rushing. And they said, she needs to drop. She should drop. She's going to be devastated because sororities never take pledges over a size 10, which I think is bullshit, because I have seen videos on TikTok of young ladies who are over a size 10. And let's be completely fucking for real. When I was in college in the 80s. I went to Edinburgh, and I had friends who were plus size who had gotten into sororities. So that's a lie. You might be asking, Deb, did you ever? No. I never fully went through Rush. Here's my story of me and Rush. So you could go around to each of the houses. So I went into this one. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to give the Greek letters. But we went in, and everybody seemed nice. And then they had us sit down, and they all got in a circle, all the sisters, and they sang the song in a circle. And okay, all right. But then they started talking about, about their sorority. And they said, and the one sister said, our colors are red, green, and buff. And I said, oh, okay. And then I said to one of the sisters afterwards, I said, oh, so your colors are red, green, and yellow. That's awesome. And she said, it's buff. And I said, yeah, it's yellow or gold. She said, it's buff. It's buff. It's buff. Like that. And I was like, oh. I taking crazy pills? It looks just like yellow. I mean, it's a fancy way of saying yellow. Okay. That was it. I was out. I didn't need to do anything else, because here's the other thing. No. As someone who has very low self-confidence, I could have never gone through it. But God bless all of the young women and young ladies who make it through and find a home and find a sisterhood and find friends for life. I myself could never go through it because I have no self-confidence. Okay. So yeah. So she's like, one of my friends told me this, and now I'm worried that she's not going to get in and that she's going to be devastated. Well, then why? First of all, if you're so worried, why are you pushing her to do this? If it's because of this this history that your family has. Fuck that. That's shitty. So you're willing to make your daughter, you're willing to tank your daughter's self-confidence even more, so you can say, you can have this record in the family of everybody going, being in a sorority. I think that's terrible. And Bill said it perfectly. He was like, if one of your friends is saying that to you on the phone, hang up the phone. They are not your friends. I would have said it even differently. I would have been like, and before you hang up that phone, tell them to go suck it. And then I would have hung up the phone, because they're not your friends. They're not. That's shitty. So Emily comes out. Her hair looks absolutely beautiful. I thought she looked beautiful before, but looks even more beautiful. So then a little bit later, Carol Ann and Emily are talking. And Carol Ann was like, listen, to be honest, I would be okay. It would be perfectly all right. And I would be okay if you didn't get a bid and you dropped out. I didn't believe that. I was like, oh, wait, what? And then she actually apologized to Emily for putting all this pressure on her, which, wow, I was shocked. The gob was smacked right on out. I was gobsmacked. So rushing starts. We find out things are not going so well for Emily. In the first round, you have 13 houses. And then in the second, when you go into your second round, you can get a maximum of 8 houses back, meaning those are the houses that want to continue getting to know you. Emily had 5, and the sorority that her mom belonged to did not extend an invitation to her, which I think that probably hurt Carol Ann more than it did Emily. Isabella, out at Ole Miss, Isabella said she got cut by some houses just because she is a legacy at Kappa. Okay, so during this whole thing, Carol Ann's not getting any calls or text messages from Emily. She is honestly treating this like this is a death or something. Like, she's like, okay, I'm gonna go out, but I want somebody to stay here in case Emily calls or texts. You're putting way too much on this. You're putting way too much on this. So we go to the end and we find out what happens. So Isabella, when we find out, it's pref round. I think it was pref round. Yeah, it was pref round. Isabella gets 2 houses back. She gets Alpha Delta, and she gets Kappa Gamma. And Emily was invited back to 1 house. It was her least favorite house, and so she drops out. And Carol is kind of devastated, you can tell a little bit. Okay, fast forwarding. Who do I think? I thought Isabella was going to go to Kappa. Now, Isabella was like, I'm going to make up my own mind. The reason why I was thinking Isabella was going to go Kappa is because she was wearing blue, and her parents were going to go to bid day, and they were like, what color should we wear? And her dad was like, I'm going to wear blue. It's going to be Kappa all the way. So Isabella was wearing blue. I was thinking she was going to go Kappa. And she, in fact, did get a bid from Kappa. So she ran home to Kappa Gamma with her to meet her, to see her sister times 2. Okay. It says Emily did not attend bid day, but then 1 week after, she did end up getting a bid from Delta Zeta. And this was through continuous open bidding, or COB. These are really bids. These are open bids. These are bids that are dangling out there that maybe I'm thinking are maybe not accepted, and they're out there, and it's continuous open bidding, which is an informal rush. So she was able, she did accept. Now listen, Bill had said this. Sometimes it's smart not to just accept someplace and hold out, because through continuous open bidding or COB, there you could end up getting a house that you really love, which she got the house that she had wanted going in. She wanted Delta Zeta, and that's who she got. So it was smart for her to step back, because finally she got a place that she loved and she felt was her home for the next 4 years. So that's awesome. I did enjoy it. It's not as, the mothers are not as, like I was thinking it was going to be dance moms. Were they a little much? Yes, especially Carol Ann. But hopefully, well, she doesn't have any more kids, any more daughters, so she's not going to be able to do this to any other children. But hopefully, I think Emily, if she grows up, when she gets married and has kids, if she does, and if she has daughters, I don't think that she will be doing what her mother did, because that was insane. So yeah, it's on every Monday. It's at 10 o'clock on Lifetime, and I will be watching, because even if it's just to see Brandis, because I love Brandis Bradley. So listen, if you watched, let me know in the comments. Oh, and by the way, OOTD, they always do OOTD. I'm not going to show you my pants because I'm not standing up. But okay, OOTD of the day. Glasses are Draper James from Miss Reese Witherspoon. Necklace is Lane Bryant. Eyelet top is Lane Bryant. You guessed it, camisole is Lane Bryant. My pants, you can't see them, but they are Denim & Company from QVC. And my slippers, you can't see them either. No, you can't. But they are Skechers from QVC. So there we go. In the comments, let me know if you watched. And as always, if nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world, so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Kindness is free. Always be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Let's hydrate with some water. And if you're in a dangerous situation, just know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and positive energy your way, so you make it through. I love you guys, and I probably will not be seeing you tomorrow, because my nephew is coming over for dinner. So me and Dolly and my nephew Isaiah are going to be having a nice dinner before he heads out to Grove City for his freshman year of college. So I'm probably not going to be doing anything tomorrow night, because I want to just be present for that and enjoy. So I'll see you on Friday. Love you guys. Have a great day and a great evening. Bye guys. Bye.